Hello everyone, and welcome to Simple Therapist. And in this video, we're going to be going over therapeutic interventions or activities that are tailored towards the family, the entire family unit. Now, more specifically, this video is going to be tailored towards families who feel as though they have plateaued, or maybe don't communicate as much, or maybe are focusing too much on the problems as opposed to the strengths that the family has. Now, a little bit about myself. I've been a social worker for about 3 years now. I'm also in grad school to get my master's in social work. Now, at this point in time, I work with children who have a series of co-occurring disorders, psychiatric disorders, as well as their parents and families. Now, all the activities referenced in this video will be in the description below. Now, the first activity that we're going to get into is called the gratitude and repair tradition. Now, for social workers specifically, this activity will be great for families either at the beginning of sessions in the form of like an icebreaker, or at the end through like the last 5 or 10 minutes of session. Now, if you are not a social worker and are just a part of a family and want to be the leader in reinforcing and reinvigorating some sort of spirit into your family, this tradition would be perfect incorporating to some sort of dinner as opposed to, people being on their phone during this time. It's low maintenance and it's straight to the point. Now, the goal of this activity is to foster dialogue amongst the family members. Now, oftentimes, depending on the vertical and horizontal dynamics within a family or due to its culture, a lot of problems are left unaddressed. It also may be the case that a lot of good, healthy things are also left unaddressed. Now, as referenced by the Yale Child Study Center, the goal of this activity is to reinforce safety, perspective, and emotional closure. Now, firstly, someone has to take the leadership role in this activity. It's either the social worker, obviously, or you watching this video. First, start by asking the family, what does gratitude mean and what does repair mean? Now, try to integrate everyone's responses into one cohesive definition for both repair and gratitude. Now, have each family member offer a moment of gratitude or a moment of repair to another family member directly. So, for example, someone could say, Billy, I was so happy that you picked up the house while we were gone. We had a lot going on and you took care of that. It did not go unnoticed and we appreciate that. Or offer repair and say something like, Bob, I apologize for raising my voice at you. There were a lot of stressors going on and it was not right for me to take that out on you. Now, I know what you're thinking. This only goes this way in a perfect world. And there's going to be a lot of moments of awkwardness, uncomfortability, long pauses, and that's okay. It's going to feel like pulling teeth, but that's why as a facilitator, as a social worker, or as that family member that cares, having a consistency or forging this into some sort of family tradition will make it less like pulling teeth. This activity helps greatly with emotional awareness, especially for some of those family members who didn't have that growing up or have so much going on that they don't have enough time to be aware of these factors. It allows everyone to pause and really hear other family members out. Now, this next activity I like to call the step-by-step game. Now, while there are other cited benefits to this activity, especially for the younger kiddos in the family, such as listening skills and impulse control, the number one trait that I find super helpful for families is perspective building. So let me paint you guys a picture here. Imagine a wife and husband sort of situation. The wife comes home from work, the husband is, chilling on the couch, watching TV and eating dinner. Now, this is the wife's perspective. I came home, I received no greeting, no how are you, no how was work, and I felt X, Y, and Z about it. Now, here's the husband's perspective. My wife came home, stomping into the house, slammed the door, and I knew it was better not to talk to her and ask her about her day, just let her settle in. Two radically different perspectives based off of the same objective experience, the same sequence of events. How does that happen? Let's answer that question with this activity. Okay, so this is how the activity works, and shout out to Susan from Homeschool with Love for this activity. So you want to start by assigning either a family member, or if you're a social worker, of course, you will be assuming this role, to read off the directions for making this drawing. So this example right here is the activity that I like to do with the families that I work with. I want you to pause this video if you would like to do it yourself, just so you get an idea, a feel for the activity. But when you utilize this with the family, I want to make sure that you as the facilitator are not giving them this paper or not printing out this website, but instead reading it off to them step by step. And that's key for the perspective building, which we'll get into. So then once everybody is done drawing, they get to step 9. This is what it should look like as we keep scrolling here. It should look something along the lines of this. Now, what's interesting is that you'll have some people who have the character with a frown instead of a smile. Maybe the stars are not as one-to-one as they are in this picture here, or maybe you have somebody with the arms vertical as opposed to horizontal rectangles. All of these differences you should take note of when observing everyone's picture. Now, you're going to ask all the family members, why is everyone's picture slightly different or completely different depending on what happened? Then you can get into the variables that shape our perspective. So let's say some people are better visual learners as opposed to auditory learners. Some family members may have had something completely separate from the activity in their brain, like, are the Mets going to beat the Dodgers measures this year.
It's not always about the formula, Krabs. It's about the Mets, baby. Love the Mets. All right, baby. Let's go. Get a home run, baby. Love them.
Or something as simple as, I'm super hungry, I don't want to do this activity. Some people are dreading work tomorrow. Some people may have messed up a step and got too hung up on it. All of these variables that we cannot account for, or confounding variables, are at play at any given point in our lives, and that's what this activity demonstrates. And last but not least, for the third activity, we have the weekly feel good share. Now this activity, I definitely got inspiration from the app Letter Loop. Shout out to that. And also shout out to Rob for referencing the app. You know who you are. Now, the purpose of this activity is to intentionally shape positive family interactions, strengthen emotional connection, and shift family communication towards noticing the sharing of positive experiences as opposed to the negative ones or the problems that we're constantly facing. I think a lot of times families may experience this lull period in which they're super busy from work, or once they get home from work, they're too tired to have positive experiences with their family, or simply too busy. Maybe a lot of the family members have grown out of the household, and it's hard to get every family member to come into one shared space. That is why the first step for this activity is to have someone take leadership and create either a family group chat or a shared Google Drive. Next, designate a day and general time in which each family member's feel good post should be in by. Now, what does feel good content mean? For me, and this could expand to anything beyond what I articulate in this video, but I think of photos such as like funny moments, pets, hobbies, nature, screenshots of positive messages that we may have seen throughout the week, achievements, kind interactions with other people, good news, big or small, or something that made you smile or feel good about the week. I want to emphasize that there's no right. Quantifying it is not what is important in this activity. Now, if you are the social worker, you want to facilitate questions following this activity, saying something along the lines of, what did you notice about what other people shared? How did it feel to receive positive things from other people? Did anything surprise you? Does this have any impact on the way you felt about the week in any measurable way? Now, the purpose of this activity is honestly endless, but let's just cover three. It promotes family cohesion and shared meaning through the structured, collaborative tradition. It increases positive attention and emotional connection within the family system. It allows for a brief moment of the standardized patterns of lives and something to smile about, something to look forward to. And those are the three that I have for you guys today. If you have any questions about them or have made any adjustments, let me know either what those adjustments are or how it went when you incorporated those into your family's lives. That's all I have for you guys today, and have a good one.